Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In last lecture, we have studied regarding the classification of water carrier system, that is separate system, combined system and partially separate system. Also we have studied advantages and disadvantages of all these systems. Today we are going to study regarding the dry weather flow. For the design of sewer section, it is essential to know the total quantity of wastewater which is coming to the sewer, and hence whatever the total quantity is there, we can divide that total quantity into two. First one is dry weather flow and second one is the storm water flow. Now what is meant by dry weather flow? DWF. Dry weather flow refers to the wastewater flow in a sewer system during period of dry weather when there is no storm water is in the sewer. The dry weather flow is also sometimes called as sanitary sewage. It consists of mainly domestic sewage and the wastewater from the industrial area. Now the dry weather flow depends upon different factors. So these factors are: first one, rate of water supply, means at what rate we are supplying the water to that town or city. Second factor is population growth, means at what rate population increases in that particular town or city. Third factor is type of area served, means whether it is residential area, commercial area or industrial area. And fourth factor is infiltration of groundwater. Now these factors we study in detail one by one. So first one, rate of water supply. The quantity of water supplied to a town or city is expressed in liter per capita per day, means quantity of water supplied per person per day. The quantity of wastewater entering the sewer would be less than the total quantity of water supplied to the town. This is because certain quantity of water is lost in domestic consumption, some water may get evaporate, some water may be used for sprinkling of lawns, and some water may be used for firefighting purpose. And hence for design purpose, quantity of sewage may be considered as 75 to 80% of the water supplied to that town or city. The sewers to be designed for a minimum of 150 liter per capita per day. The next factor is population growth. The quantity of sanitary sewage directly depends upon the population of the town or city. As the population increases, the quantity of sanitary sewage also increases. The sewage quantity which will be produced in the town due to future development of the town and population should also be taken into account for the design of sewer system. Third factor is type of area served. The quantity of sanitary sewage also depends upon the type of area to be served, that is whether the area is residential, industrial or commercial one. The quantity of sewage produced in residential area directly depends upon the quantity of water supplied to the town in a day. The quantity of sewage produced by various industries depends upon their various industrial processes, and it is different for different industry. This quantity can be determined by doing a survey of that area and collecting the information from that particular area. Fourth factor is infiltration of ground. Depending upon the water table level or depending upon the subsoil water condition, water may infiltrate into the sewer through the leaky joints or through the weak joints. At the same time, extrafiltration is the reverse process which indicates the flow of wastewater from the sewer into the ground. While due to infiltration the quantity of flow through the sewer increases, and due to exfiltration there is a decrease in the flow, and which may increase the pollution in the groundwater. Hence, both infiltration as well as exfiltration are undesirable and take place due to imperfect joints. Infiltration unnecessarily increases the load on treatment works or load on the treatment units. Then we are going to study regarding per capita sewage generation. The entire consumed water of a community should normally contribute to the total flow in a sanitary sewer. However, the observed dry weather flow quantities usually are slightly less than the per capita water consumption, and this is because some water is lost in evaporation, seepage into ground and leakage to the weak joints. In arid region, mean sewage flow may be as little as 40% of the water supplied, and in well developed areas or cities flow may be as high as 90%. However, the conventional sewers shall be designed for a minimum sewage flow of 100 liters per capita per day or higher as the case may be. Then regarding peak flow estimation, the flow in sewer varies from hours to hour and also from season to season, but for the purpose of hydraulic design, estimated peak flow are developed or adopted, and the peak factor or the ratio of maximum to average flow depends upon contributory population. Means whatever the sewage flow is there, it depends upon mainly the population in that area or town. The peak factor also depends upon the density of population, topography of the site, hours of the water supply, and therefore individual cases may be further analyzed if required for calculation of the peak flow or peak discharge. Now, depending upon the population, we have to consider the peak factor. When the population is 20,000, then peak factor may be 3. When population is between 20,000 to 50,000, peak factor is 2.5. When the population is between 50,000 to 7,50,000, the peak factor may be 2.25, and when the population is above 7,50,000, then peak factor may be 2, and by considering this peak factor we have to find out peak discharge, or we can say peak flow. Then for design purpose some thumb rules are used. First one, maximum daily flow is equal to average annual flow into 2. Also maximum hourly flow is equal to maximum daily flow into factor 1.5 and is equal to annual average flow into 3. So from this any of the flow we can calculate. At the same time, minimum daily flow is equal to average daily flow into factor 0.67 and minimum hourly flow is equal to minimum daily flow into 0.5, and at the same time average daily flow into 0.33. From this we can calculate the minimum hourly flow. So this is all about the dry weather flow and how to find out the peak discharge. Thank you.